give me a second to figure this out. Let's see if I can get this to work. You can't turn your phone while recording. I'm not. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out the whole YouTube, Facebook versus YouTube recording. They have different ways of allowing your phone to work out. And I was going to direct it at me for a minute, but because it takes so much to figure out this, I'm just going to leave it like this. So hopefully you can see everything. All right, I'm gonna mute this in the background. All right, so I am coming to you live today for obviously more card making, because I love making cards. I got myself a really good paper cut earlier, and so I'm kind of babying this finger. I mean, this is a good paper cut. Anyway, sorry, just if you see me kind of like babying it, that's why. Of course, my page won't load. So it's World Card Making Day. Every October 3rd is World Card Making Day, and usually I just make a card. And this year, since I've decided to be kind of doing live stuff, I decided to make some cards with you for card making day. So sorry, I'm a little, I just can't figure out this stuff. All right, so today we are going to make some cards using this beautiful suite from Stampin' Up. It's called the Gilded Autumn Suite. I really wish that I could see what was going on. Sorry, just give me a second. I'm really sorry. I don't know why this isn't working. Okay. All right, so I'm going to use the Gilded Autumn Suite in the mini catalog. We have the regular annual catalog that comes out every year. These are all my tags for things that I want or think I need. Really, I do need, but just want. Anyway, so that's my annual catalog. And then this is a mini catalog that used to be like the holiday catalog, but now it's just the August through December mini catalog. And it's mostly like Christmas, Halloween, fall type stuff. And this week, when I first saw it, I fell in love with it. But I kept telling myself, no, don't get it. You don't need it. You probably won't use it much. There's other things to use more. Like Christmas stuff would be far better to use because more people want those cards. But it didn't matter what I told myself. I needed it. So I got it. So we're going to make 2 cards with it. It is fall time, so it's a good time to use it. It comes with a stamp set. It comes with DSP, which is designer series paper. Hopefully you can see this here. It comes with this brushed metallic cardstock, which is we'll be using some of that tonight. So you'll see some ribbons, these little acorn trinkets that are actually, they're tiny, but they're pretty heavy. Let me pull this out. I really like them, but they're pretty heavy for a card. So if you were going to send this in the mail, you would not be able to send it in a like flat envelope, I don't think, unless you paid extra, because it's a good size, but they're adorable. Not using those tonight. And the stamp set and 3 punches that come with the stamp set. Don't know where that goes. So let's get started. My first card, I'm going to use a crumb cake card base, cut at 8.5 by 5.5, and I fold it in half to get. Sorry, it's not cut at 8.5 by 5.5. Yes, it is. It's got an 8.5 by 5.5, folded in half to get 5.5 by 4.25 as my card base. Use my bone folder to fold it in half. I'm really feeling off tonight, and I'm not really sure why. So there's my card base. I then took this beautiful piece of DSP from the suite, and it's like a mint macaron background with gold foiling. I really like the way this looks. I also have, this is cut at 5.25 by 4. I then have the brushed metallic cardstock. I believe this one is in the bronze. I cut 3 of these into 2x2 squares. And I took 3 different pieces of DSP. You can use whichever pieces you wanted. These are just ones I chose. I took these 3 pieces of DSP and cut them at 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. I'm going to adhere some of this stuff together. So the first thing I'm going to do is adhere my mint macaron DSP piece to my card base using my Stampin' Seal. Sorry, I'm just checking on, see if there's anybody asking any questions or anything. All right. So I adhered that. I'm now going to adhere my DSP squares to my brushed metallic squares. And I left it so that there was a border all the way around. I don't know what's going on today. If you share my live, you'll get entered into a drawing, and I at the end will show you what the drawing prize is. And it's gonna be, I think last week I put that on a little bit crooked. I think last week I had said it would be every week, but I've decided that it's gonna be that it's actually going to be once a month for now. So if you share like every live that I do in that month, you'll be entered into the drawing each time. So the more you watch my lives and share them, the more opportunity you will have to earn a prize. Or win a prize, I should say. It's not really earning it. You're just... Alright, that's a little bit better. I thought I was like completely ready to do this. I worked pretty long afternoon actually deciding on the cards I was going to do and having them most everything cut and ready to go, and I'm not feeling like I'm ready now. Do you ever have days like that where you feel like, oh yeah, I'm good, I got it, I know exactly what's going on, and then when it's time you're just like, ugh, no, not happening. And okay, my Stampin' Seal is not working properly, but I promise you that normally it does work properly and it is worth using. I think it's just I have not cleaned up when it got really gummed up, and now I'm just having problems with that. Alright, so actually, because this is brushed metallic, you can actually see like lines. I don't know if you can see those lines, but there are kind of lines because it's the brushed look. I want to have my lines go the same way as my lines on here. It really probably doesn't matter at all. It's just the way I wanted to do it. Alright, so I now have my 3 pieces all ready here. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take this metallic ribbon, and I'm going to put it through the inside of the card and around the outside. And I'm going to cut it and glue it down up toward the top here. And the placement of it, I'll show you why I'm doing it here in a moment. I want to make sure that it is flat on the inside and not all twisted up, and it was twisted, so good thing I checked. I can make it kind of tight by bringing it up here. And put it on the glue that I already stuck down. Okay, and I just want to line that up with each other. There. Now I'm going to take a piece of my DSP on the brushed metallic cardstock. It really probably doesn't matter which one you do, but I just decided I wanted this one on top. And I'm going to cover this up with this piece. Right, and I'm going to do one more piece of this. Oh, no, actually I'm not. I'm going to leave that. Sorry, I had an idea, but I decided I'm just going to go with what I've got. So, now I'm going to take this piece. To put it down toward this way, trying to kind of line it up with this one up here. And then I'm going to take this last one. I want the stripes to go this way. To stick it. Actually, I'm going to pop this up. I'm going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals on there. I've already put some, I already put some Stampin' Seal, but that's fine. I'm going to put some dimensionals around. I want to pop it up over these ones. Get my backings off, which I always struggle with. Alright, now I'm going to pop it up so it's a little bit over these ones. And so this will kind of be like my centerpiece. Now, before I go on, you can stamp using this stamp set. Some different leaves and acorns, and punch them out, which I'm going to do in a minute. Here's a couple that I already have. But I also wanted to show you really quick, like this is a scrap piece from one of the DSPs. This is the back side. But on this side, the punches actually fit these pieces. So I can take my acorn punch, line it right up, and punch out the acorn. Alright, so if you didn't want to stamp it, you can punch it out. I'll show you with the leaf too real quick. If you just put it in there, line it up the best you can, punch it out, and there's the leaf. So I really like actually that you can punch those out, and Stampin' Up! Makes it so that that happens with several of their DSPs. They have, depending on the suite and stuff, but sometimes there's punches that match up with some of the DSP. So anyways, alright, so I can punch it out like that, but I'm going to stamp for today. So let me pull out some paper. I'm going to stamp. I got one leaf here already, so I'm going to stamp one more in Cajun Craze and on my Cajun Craze cardstock. And I'm going to stamp my acorn in Crumb Cake on my Crumb Cake cardstock. And then I'm going to punch them out. And actually I didn't have to punch to do this because I already have one, but that's fine. I will use it at some point in the future. Sometimes it's good, especially if you're doing more than one project, to just go ahead and stamp a bunch and punch them out and then put them in some kind of baggie or container or whatever to hold on to them so that you've got them already ready for next time. So there's my acorn. And I actually really have a hard time lining this one up. Probably just me. Probably other people can do it just fine. And there's my leaf. And then I'm also going to, on this very vanilla, I'm going to stamp the words "Hey there" using Cajun Craze. And I want it to be down toward the bottom here where I have a nice straight line on my paper. And that looks pretty good. It's fairly straight. Alright. So I'm going to take my trimmer and trim this hay there. I'm going to give it a little bit more. Actually, I'm going to trim it right down pretty close. That's what I'm going to do. Which means I'm going to trim it even a little bit closer on this side if I can. Lining it up to be straight is the difficult part. Sorry, it's taking time, but all right, hopefully that comes out pretty straight. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. All right, trimmed. Now I'm just gonna leave this for now. I will trim this more when it's time. Bring back my little card here, and I'm gonna use glue dots. And I'm going to put 2 leaves kind of in the corner here. Just a little overlapping. And then 1 acorn I am going to pop up using a mini dimensional. A regular size dimensional does fit on the acorn, but it like just fits. So I'm just going to use a mini. Besides, I need an excuse to use the mini. And then I'm going to just put my acorn here with the leaves. Really, these are probably maple leaves, and acorns I don't believe grow on maple trees. I think they grow on oak trees, but I could be wrong. But I still like the way it looks. I do have a punch that I believe this one is oak. But I just wanted to do it this way. So, you know, whatever. It's your own creativity, whatever you want to do, however you want to do it. All right. So the last thing that I'm going to do is take that strip that I did hay there, and I'm going to adhere it, and I haven't quite decided where yet. I think I'm going to do it here so that it's on this square. And so we need to just kind of look at it so I can line it up. I'm going to trim out a little bit more here. And of course it's not straight at all because I cannot cut straight to save my life. Alright, so, and then I'm going to give this end a little slanted cut. And I'm going to use some mini dimensionals to pop this up. And actually, the mini dimensionals are getting stuck under my fingernail. They're apparently smaller than the length of my fingernail. All right. And let's put that right down here. And there we go. The first card is complete. Now, I think I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Normally, I put another piece in here, a lighter piece, for various reasons. Sometimes I decorate it. Sometimes I stamp in it, but especially to write. So if I want to write my message. But this is a pretty light card base, so I don't have to. But I usually still do because I like to decorate it up a little bit. And also, this is thinner now than the front. And you know what? I wasn't going to, but I've decided I'm going to. What the heck? So, I'm gonna take my piece of cardstock here. I'm gonna cut it at 4 by 5 1/4. And I am going to take my Cajun Craze and I'm going to just stamp a few of these leaves that I put on the front. And I think I'm going to put one in each corner. And I'm going to leave it at that. And then you can decorate. Sometimes I would put maybe put a sentiment here and stamp this off and then stamp it into the middle so that you can't see it as much in the background. This is what I'm doing for this one. I'm going to leave that open for now and hopefully I don't have a problem. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put this into my card. And there you go. That card is complete. My next card, I'm going to use mint macaron, and I don't know what's going on with my account, but I really wanted to be able to see if anyone's on or watching or but it's just not doing anything. Oh, my husband says you're buffering a lot on my end, and he said that a while ago. Well, hopefully it's not a big deal. We have really, really terrible internet service. Like, terrible. I'm just gonna say, if you have the same provider that we do and you have good service, please tell me how you have good service, because it's bad. It drives me bonkers. Alright. So, next card. I really like this card, and I actually need to give some credit to Dina Rico, because she posted a card very, very, very similar to this. I revamped the card 3 times because I had some other ideas for it, and I ended up going back to basically her design. Mine's just a teeny bit different because she has a little bit more element on hers than I do. But anyways, she's amazing. Love her. I have mint macaron. It is cut at 8.5 by 5.5, folded in half to make it 5.5 by 4 1/4. Then I have a piece of early espresso at 5 1/4 by 4. I'm going to go ahead and put this right onto my card base. Then I have a piece of that DSP, which I really like this one. I honestly probably would never have chosen these colors together, especially adding the mint macaron in there, but I really like it. And I'm also not usually a straight person, but again, I like it. Stampin' Up! Does that to me. I often think I don't like things, and then they come up with something, and I'm like, oh, that's amazing. So I'm going to put this piece of DSP on top of here. I then have this piece of DSP which is cut at 1.5 by 4. And this piece of ESP, which is cut at 1 by 3.5. This one, this all comes from the same pack. If you remember, there's a pack that in the Gilded Autumn Suite, but you can also get it separate. Gotta figure out how to get the gumming out so that it will stop doing that. And I'm gonna just kind of center it toward the left. And I'm gonna take this piece. Yeah, all right. And I'm going to place it a little bit over this one. I put it a little bit lower and have more up here. You can put it however you want. This is just how I wanted to do it. And then I have a piece of early espresso that's cut with a layering circles, scalloped circle die. And then I have here the next size, I think it's the next size down. Might even be, I think it's the next size down of the layering circles, just a straight edge circle. I'm going to die cut a piece after I stamp. And again, I'm just going to use Hey There. It fits in there well, and I think Hey There works really well for just about any occasion. So I'm going to stamp Hey There in Cajun Craze. And then I'm going to put my die over it. You can see that it just fits on the edges. Run it through my die cutting machine. Adhere it to my early espresso piece. Actually be this next size down, because usually it doesn't show as much around. It usually just shows more of just the scallop, but that's okay. I like this look, so it doesn't matter. Do it however you want. Okay, so now I'm going to take a piece of this metallic ribbon again, and I'm going to tie a bow. I stink at tying bows, so bear with me while I get a bow tied. And you can see that I am not cutting it yet, because I don't want to cut it too long and waste it, or too short and not get the bow that I want out of it. And flip it. It's probably fine the way it is, but I really would like it flipped. Yes, I think I did it. Telling you I am not good at bows. Probably explains why my kids can't tie shoes. I mean, I can tie shoes, but I struggle to teach them how to tie their shoes. All right, I don't want a giant bow, so here's my bow. I am going to end up wasting some because of where I placed it, but whatever. So I want my bow to be fairly small. And that tail is way too long. Then I'm going to take my glue dots, which I'm almost out of. I need to get a new pack out here. Pull this off. And I'm going to just stick it at the bottom of my Hey There. And then I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. You can do 1, you can do 2, you can do 10, however many you want. I typically do 2 or 3 for like a circle. I know some people who use a lot. And I'm just going to kind of, I don't want to cover the whole piece here. I want some of that to show, especially because it's a small piece. Make this as straight as possible before I push it down. And then I'm going to take my bronze Stamp and Blend and my rhinestone jewels. And this doesn't color it a lot, but it gives it a little bit of color. And I'm going to go ahead and color. I want to use the other end. Other brush end is easier. I'm going to color a couple, well, three sizes of these jewels. And then I'm going to take those and I'm going to stick them on my card. One there. Put one there. And I'll put the small one right there. All right. And that is my card. Again, you could put it inside. You don't have to put it inside, whatever you want. I really like this card. Dina had these great leaves off here. And she used some different types of bling, but I don't have those leaves. I tried some other things that I thought would look good, but I ended up coming back to this. All right, so these are our 2 cards for tonight for World Card Making Day. Oh, hello Ken. Hi, how are you? So like I said earlier, if you share my live, you will be entered into a drawing, and at the end of the month, I will draw a name. And for the month of October, where'd I put the prize? Aha. For the month of October, the it's not what I wanted, sorry. For the month of October, the winner of the prize for sharing my live will get this stamp set. This is Zany Zebras, and they're super adorable little zebras. It says it's time to celebrate, wild about you, happy birthday, kick up your heels, you party animal, and some other stamps. If you are a new stamper, never stamped before, or you're just not sure what to do or how to use them when you get them, let me know. I'd be happy to help you. And if you already have this stamp set, let me know and we'll talk about something different. I will on October, let's see, I'm trying to think of what date the drawing will be, just so that everybody knows. Thank you, Ken, you're amazing. Oh, look at that. Halloween is the Saturday, which is obviously the last day of October. But my lives are typically on Sunday, so I will probably draw on Halloween on the 31st. And then we'll start a new one. So share, put your name into the drawing. Come back every week, usually Sundays, sometimes other days, like today is World Card Making Day. It's not Sunday, it's Saturday, but I decided to do one. I might do another one tomorrow, but this might be it too. I'm not sure if I'm going to do one tomorrow or not. But again, every time that you share my live, one time for each live, but you can do it each live all month, and your name will be put in each time. So like 4 or 5 times, depending on how many lives and weeks there are, then you will get your name in that many times for my drawing. I appreciate you watching. Please not only share the live, but share my page. And if you know anybody who loves stamping or crafting and they need a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, please share my information with them. And also, if you just need cards, please get in touch with me. I have a ton of cards. I love making cards. So I have cards galore just sitting here needing a home. And I do sell them. And of course I give some away too to people. But just to show you some of the cards that I make. Because some people don't realize, like literally, this is what I do. I make cards, and I make a lot of them, and this is just a few. All right, well, I hope you have a great night, and we'll see you next time.